Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me again for Storytime with Rob. I have a really good feel-good story for you today, and I hope you enjoy it. It's one that I got years and years ago, and every time I read it, I get a little bit choked up. So I hope you enjoy this one as well. This one is called God's Perfection. Everything happens for a reason. In Brooklyn, New York, Chush is a school that caters to learning disabled children. Some children remain in Chush for their entire school career, while others can be mainstreamed into conventional schools. At a Chush fundraising dinner, the father of a Chush child delivered a speech that would never be forgotten by all who attended. After extolling the school and its dedicated staff, he cried out, "Where is the perfection in my son, Shay? Everything God does is done with perfection. But my child cannot understand things as other children do. My child cannot remember facts and figures as other children do. Where is the perfection?" The audience was shocked by the question, pained by the father's anguish, and stilled by the piercing query. "I believe," the father answered, "that when God brings a child like this into the world, the perfection that he seeks is in the way people react to his child." He then told the following story about his son Shay. One afternoon, Shay and his father walked past a park where some boys Shay knew were playing baseball. Shay asked, "Do you think they will let me play?" Shay's father knew that his son was not at all athletic and that most boys would not want him on their team. But Shay's father understood that if the son was chosen to play, it would give him a comfortable sense of belonging. Shay's father approached one of the boys in the field and asked if Shay could play. The boy looked around for guidance from his teammates, and getting none, he then took matters into his own hands and said, "Well, we're losing by 6 runs and the game is in the 8th inning. I guess he can be on our team and we'll try to put him up to bat in the 9th inning." Shay's father was ecstatic. As Shay smiled broadly, Shay was told to put on a glove and go out and play short center field. In the bottom of the 8th, Shay's team scored a few runs but was still behind by 3. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Shay's team scored again, and now with 2 outs and the bases loaded, with the potential winning run on base, Shay was scheduled to be up. Would the team actually let Shay bat at this juncture and give away their chance at winning the game? Surprisingly, Shay was given a bat. Everyone knew that it was impossible because Shay didn't even know how to hold the bat properly, let alone hit the ball. However, as Shay stepped up to the plate, the pitcher moved up a few steps closer to the plate and lobbed the ball in softly so Shay could at least be able to make contact. The first pitch came and Shay swung clumsily and missed. One of Shay's teammates came up to Shay, and together they held the bat and faced the pitcher, waiting for the next pitch. The pitcher again took a few steps forward to toss the ball softly toward Shay. As the pitch came in, Shay and his teammate swung at the ball, and together they hit a slow ground ball directly to the pitcher. The pitcher picked up the soft grounder and could easily have thrown the ball to the first baseman. Shay would have been out, and that would have ended the game. Instead, the pitcher took the ball and threw it on a high arc to right field, far beyond the reach of the first baseman. Everyone started yelling, "Shay, run to first! Run to first!" Never in his life had Shay ever run to first. He scampered down the baseline, wide-eyed and startled, By the time he reached first base, the right fielder had the ball. He could have thrown the ball to second. The second baseman, who would have tagged Shea out, who was still running. But the right fielder, again, this is the good part, the right fielder understood what the pitcher's intentions were. So he threw the ball high and far over the third baseman's head. Everyone yelled, "Run to second, run to second." Shea ran towards second base as the runners ahead of him deliriously circled the bases towards home. As Shea reached second base, the opposing shortstop ran to him, turned him in the direction of the third base, and shouted, "Run to third!" As Shea rounded third, the boys from both teams ran behind him screaming, "Shea, run home! Shea, run home!" He stepped on home plate, and all 18 boys lifted him on their shoulders and made him their hero, as he had just hit his first and possibly only grand slam and won the game for his team. "That day," said the father softly, with tears now rolling down his face, "those 18 boys reached their level of God's perfection." I really appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed that story as much as I did. And I hope that we can all provide service to those who are less fortunate than ourselves. We have so many blessings and so many things to be grateful for. Use your talents, magnify them to help others in times of need, and maybe just to lift them up and help them to feel confident and inspired. Thank you again for joining me. Until tomorrow, be safe.